Hey, there we are. Good evening, everyone. How you doing? You all right? Good to see you all. It's been a while since I've been on here, isn't it? Doing a live stream. Hope you're well. Who have we got in tonight? Who we've got? We've got Darren Safe Zone. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Leroy, hello, mate. 7K, let's go. I remember when you were over the moon and shocked at 1K, mate. Much as everyone won't be long till 30. Bloody hell. Bit by bit, mate. Bit by bit. But, mate, thank you very much. That's very kind, I must admit. Yeah. Well, every 1,000 subs is a bit of a milestone, isn't it? And, yeah, we clocked over 7,000 just a couple of days back, so I kind of figured I haven't actually had a chance to put out a video. Some of you might have noticed last night I usually do a Friday evening video. Didn't get a chance because life just got in the way, so I figured, you know what, 7K this week, let's try and squeeze in a live stream. So here we are. So who else have we got? We've got Darren Safe Zone, Leroy, J-Star. Hello, mate. Good evening. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. James Hudson, good evening, mate. There we are. Alexander Jellyman. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. From South Africa. How you doing? Good to see you. Cheers for joining me. Mojo Jojo. Hello, mate. Hope you're good. Chris B. Stephen Armour. Hello, mate. Good to see you all. Thank you very much for joining me on your Saturday evening. Hope everyone's doing well. What you been up to? Anything interesting? Let me know in the chat. So, yeah. Hope we're all good. And you know what? I figured of the handful of series that I've got running at the minute, I kind of thought, you know what? Because we're only, what are we now? 26th of October, so we're literally a handful of days away from FARMERSIM 25, aren't we? And I kind of thought, you know what? Of all the maps to choose from to have a bit of a live stream on, because this is probably going to be one of, if not my last live stream for 22, it's got to be Calmsden, hasn't it? It really has. TNJ Contracting, McCone from Discord. Hello, mate. Hope you're good. Cheers for joining us. Hope all's good. Doing hog roasts works mental. Are you bringing those hog roasts to Lammer, Leroy? I'm really looking forward to that. I was over the moon when you said you were doing the catering for Lammer. It's going to be awesome, that, mate. Really looking forward to that. So yeah, hope all's good. Stephen Armour playing a bit here, so very good. Nice. So yeah, I thought we'd jump on to Calmsden and just do a bit of work. See, as you can see, the fields are in the right state here. We've got weeds in this one. We've got weeds. Well, if I, do you know what? Hang on a minute. I can flick over to that one nice and quick. Yeah, we got weeds in this one. We did some cultivating in the last episode over in field 5 over there. So we've done that one. We've got this one to do. We've got that one to do over there, and we've got what was the potato field over there by the cow shed. So just for the sake of doing it quickly. There we go, back again. So yeah, we're going to make a start in here. Yeah, looking forward to that, Leroy, must admit. So who else is going to Lammer in the first part of January? I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be awesome. A little bit of a different setup, I think, this year, isn't it? Because I'm not too sure if Giants are there. I don't think they are. And I think that's why the Farming Simulator community event is taking place in a separate location. I think we're all going to get together in a hotel, aren't we? And have a bit of a shindig. We'll all get together. That'll be a bit of a laugh. Be good fun. It was really good meeting up with everyone last time. That was my first kind of my first public trip out as FARMERSIM, because I was obviously, as I still am now, a relatively young YouTube channel, relatively small. But it was great to bump shoulders with some of the big guys and meet up with everyone as well. It was so cool. So yeah, really looking forward to that. As I've done at the beginning of just about every live stream that I've done, I'm assuming you can hear me all right. And see me okay and all that kind of stuff. One of the main reasons why I haven't actually done many live streams in the last few months is the quality of my videos, and it's something that I've always asked the question of, and it's a really, do you know what, I'll just turn that off for a minute while I'm not talking, so I'm not talking over the engine noise. It's something that bothers me loads, is the quality of my videos, the actual video quality of them. They're fine for the recorded videos that I normally fire out. They're all good. But the live streaming thing, and this was thanks to, I'm sure a few of you will have heard of Grain Man, another fellow content creator. He actually found a thread on, I think it might have been Reddit for me, because we were talking about the quality of the videos, because I have an AMD 6700 XT Red Devil graphics card, I think it's called. And I've since found out that is absolute dog dirt for encoding live stream videos. So unfortunately I've spent the last, what we're on now, probably 5 or 6 hours, literally, no word of a lie, testing and changing, fine-tuning settings in OBS to try and get the visual quality of these videos, live streams, better than what they are. And at the minute, I just can't get. So if I stand still, it looks great. As soon as I start to jump in a vehicle and start moving around fast and doing a bit of, you know, rotating around and stuff, I've noticed that the picture quality drops massively. It just gets all furry and the edges of everything just look a bit blurry. So I can only apologise for that. My hands are completely tied until I win the lottery and buy another and be able to afford to buy another graphics card. I need to go Nvidia, I think, or maybe look into it a bit better and consider a much higher caliber of AMD card. But at the minute, I'm completely my hands are completely tied, unfortunately. I can't get the visual quality any better. Apparently everyone said it's alright, but when I've watched a few of them back in the past, some of my older live streams, I'm just not happy with it. It drives me nuts, so it's the best I can do, unfortunately. Anyway, so Buzz Farms, hello mate, good evening, hope you're good. Nice to see you, thanks for joining us. Nice, appreciate you spending a bit of time on your Saturday evening, mate. So yeah, we're going to crack on with a bit of just a bit of cultivating, really, to start off with. There's plenty of work to do, obviously, on the farm. There's plenty of stuff going on. What's the volume like against my voice in the vehicle? Does that sound alright, or is it get to work FS? Yeah. Shut up and stop nattering and get to work. Stop faffing. Absolutely, Leroy. Do you know what? Actually, I've been binging a load of the farmhand this weekend. Mrs. FARMERSIM's been away helping her brother because he's moving house at the minute. She's been helping her brother do a bit of work at his house, cleaning it up because it's just been sold. So I've had the place to myself almost, and so I've just been sat in front of. So when I finally had the time to put myself in front of the telly, I've just been binging the farmhand because I'm way behind on it. I think he's over 200 episodes now, and I think I'm currently up to about 119. So it's like I'm well behind on current farmhand news. So I've kind of figured I needed to try and catch up as best as possible. Oh, cheers, Mojo. I do not believe I've ever watched a bad quality video streaming. Well, that's very kind of you to say, mate. I do appreciate that. The way I've been doing it is just basically just doing all afternoon today, or most of the afternoon. I just create a private stream, set it to go, record for a few, literally like 10 or 15 seconds, run around a bit, you know, drive around in a tractor in circles, and then stop it and go back and watch it. And the quality, and it's just the quality just, it drives me nuts. I can't do anything about it, unfortunately. Now that I understand it's down to the encoding capacity of my graphics card, my hands are tied. Fuzz Farms, any way to join you? At the minute, mate, unfortunately not. No, I don't have this game set up on a multiplayer server or anything like that. But that's something again, and it was Mojo actually who asked the question over on my Discord I think it might have been yesterday actually, regarding multiplayer servers for my channel members. It's something that I am looking to get sorted. I have actually, funnily enough, the timing of that question was pretty good, because this week I have been in the start of a bit of a conversation with a server provider. The representative who's I suppose who's dealing with me is just gone off on holiday for this week, so we're gonna recommence that discussion on the week commencing the 4th of November. So yeah, hopefully in the forthcoming weeks I may well have at least 1 or 2 servers to set up. I'm going to have to figure out how to do it all again. The last time I did that was way back when with Mrs. SG, but hopefully at some point soon we may well have a couple of servers. But as I say, it's also it's kind of a difficult time for it, because, or not a difficult time, but for me anyway, because I was kind of in a bit of an indecisive mode as to whether I stick with FARMERSIM 22 on the servers, because obviously like I said, obviously, as we all know, 25 is what, moments around the corner essentially. So it's like, do I do a server for FARMERSIM 25, or do I stick for something on 22? Those of you who are channel members, let me know. I'd love to know that kind of thing, because I know that it's obviously, with 25 being just around the corner, there's not going to be a huge amount of mod maps for quite a while, and with that in mind, it's like, do we stick with us? Do we open and create a server with obviously a map from 22 on there with a load of mods? Hey, Chimera, there she is. Dutch Modelling, hello. Saint Aggressor, forgive me, I need to catch up with the chat there. Average Welsh, hello mate, good evening, hope you're well. Hey, Chimera, there you are, where are you? Just for you, mate. There you go. Bowl of crisps, snacks up, prawn cocktail flavour and some salt and vinegar little bits in here, so help yourself. It's a bit difficult from all the way over there, I appreciate that, but there we go. Sin the Dane, good evening mate. You're waiting till FS25 and it'd be free to all. Yeah. There we go. Do you like prawn cocktail, Kay? Does that sound, is that up your street, mate? You said you weren't too fussed about the flavours. We were having a discussion before on Discord about bringing snacks to this little celebration of 7,000 subscribers, so there we are. But yeah, to all of you who are watching, whether you're in the chat or not, if you just sat back just chilling out, especially if you are a subscriber, thank you very, very much. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, this YouTube journey of mine has been wonderful so far. I've been so inundated almost constantly with so many wonderful comments about my videos and content and stuff, and it really does mean the world to me. So to all of you who have clicked that subscribe button and jumped on board and joined the channel, thank you so much, and especially even more so to the handful of you who've jumped on board and become channel members up to this point. Honestly, I can't thank you enough for your support, and just that I've been doing it now for just less than 2 years, and every milestone and every little thing like that, where I'll jump on my YouTube app on my phone and someone else has jumped onto the membership scheme. Honestly, it means the world to me. It really does. It's an amazing experience. It's an amazing feeling. So thank you so much to all of you. Lee, hello mate. Hope you're well. You're good with prawn cocktail, Kay? Good stuff, mate. That'll do. That'll do. Well, they're there for you when you want them, mate. Hey Mark, how you doing, sir? You well? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us on your Saturday evening, mate. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Yeah. 7K. It's well, it's on the up, I suppose, isn't it? It's wonderful. It's a big thing for me. It really is. It's I never thought. I didn't have any. I didn't have any goals when I started this. I just wanted to do this because I love the game, and I realised that once I'd created myself a handful of videos, because I did practice making videos for several months before I actually released my first video. I didn't want to release a load of garbage where I didn't know how to use the video editing suite or anything like that. So I literally spent October, November, December, 5 months working on one video, which was my first ever cinematic trailer, and just so that I could get my head around the editing thing and knowing what to do, because I was an entire beginner to the whole thing, yeah. So now that I've got myself to here, where I've got a wonderful group of you subscribers and channel members and stuff who seem to enjoy the content, and it means the world to me. It really does. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate that. I'm all good, mate. Saturday evening, chilling out with you guys in front of the computer on Calmsden Farm. As I said before, couldn't have. I don't think I could have picked a better map to have a bit of a. I suppose it's not much of a. It's not necessarily going to be a farewell to FARMERSIM 22, is it? Because I think, like me and you have said, Chimera, in chats that we've had on Discord, that it's going to be tough for a lot of people to go straight into FS25, knowing that essentially for X amount of time it's going to be base game. But what a base game it is, let's be honest. If you've been following any of the updates from the likes of the big man himself, FSG, and Scroft, who put out the fact sheet Friday things, some of the things that FARMERSIM 25 has got in it are incredible, quite frankly. Have you seen like the GPS and the AI workers, for example. I mean, I'm a big user of Courseplay and Auto Drive. Now, obviously, there's not much in the way of Auto Drive in that respect, but the base game Courseplay that's going to be coming to 25 for PC and console users, that's the important thing. Console players are going to get that finally, thankfully, a really nice experience of some kind of Courseplay, and it looks amazing. Really simple to use. The heads-up display, the user interface for the base game Courseplay looks really, really good. So I'm very much looking forward to getting my hands into that. Do you know what the one thing that I really do hope that the new game has is, and I don't know whether this is meant to be a feature for 22, but when you, for example, if you run an AI worker or Courseplay, and then, for example, let's pretend now that this character here is a Courseplay worker, you jump into your wardrobe, wherever that is. Where's that gone? Wardrobe. You jump into your wardrobe, you confirm your outfit, and then the AI worker, whether it's Courseplay or the base game, becomes your character. And for me, as a creator, being able to make it look like my character's doing the work as I'm running Courseplay and doing the cinematics is invaluable. So I'm really, really hoping that little, I don't want to call it a glitch, it's just a feature that maybe wasn't necessarily meant to be a feature, it's just something that happens to work. I really hope that still works in 25. My first few days of FS25 will be working out if stop check is needed, and if so, how to make it work. Well, honestly, mate, I'm hoping it is needed, because that is one of the most wonderful mods. Anyone who hasn't experienced time-saving stop check, A, where have you been? B, go download it. It is one of the most helpful time-save, as it says on the tin, time-saving mods out there. It just displays everything. Like, again, for those of you who haven't seen it, this is time-saving stop check. It's in every single save game that I own. It tells you quite simply everything that you have. So I now have, we've got 125,000 litres of barley, 195,000 of oats, etc., etc., etc. It tells you what you've got in literage. It tells you the current price. It tells you the value at current time. It tells you the best place to sell at, and the max price, max value, and the best time to sell. Everything in one display there, instead of just going, right, what do I do? Go to this menu here, where have I got to take it to? Blah, 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 blah. That can be like 20, 25 minutes of work, can't it? So having that mod there is an absolute must. Thank you, Average Welsh, mate. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's really kind of you, mate. We'll need some decent mods for buildings and such, so I can get into making custom farms. And that you do so well, mate. Any of you who are familiar with my Vintage Oaks series will know that Chimera here in the chat is my wonderful friend who made my farm for me. She sent me some photographs, she posted some photographs, on my Discord quite a few months back of a custom farm that she'd made on the Vintage Oaks, which is a wonderful map by FARMERSIM Briscoe, and I was, quite frankly, I was blown away. It was like, oh wow. I mean, I love to build a farm. I could lose myself for weeks building a farm in any given map. It's just such a wonderful part of the game. And I enjoy doing it, and without blowing my own trumpet, I think I'm okay at it. But some people just have that extra bit of mwah. And that's you, mate. She's just got the perfect eye for creating farmyards, and it was just wonderful. So yeah, you built me my farm, didn't you, mate? Cher, Hammer, good evening, mate. How you doing? You okay? I was really kind to you at Llama this year. Well, what can I say? I was blown over by the fact that you even knew who I was. It was amazing. It was wonderful to meet you, mate. Are you going to Llama this year, mate? Yes, I do like chocolate. I do like chocolate. Who doesn't? Chad Preel, hello FARMERSIM. How are you doing? I'm very well, thank you, Chad. How are you, mate? Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us on your Saturday evening. Hope you're well. But yeah, definitely like chocolate, share. Absolutely. In fact, I've actually just had a bit of a telling off from Mrs. FARMERSIM because I didn't go to the shop and get her some dairy milk before, and I didn't have time to do that because it was about 7:45 and I was just about to come up here and sort this out. So So Mrs. FS is actually sat downstairs a little bit disgruntled because she hasn't got her evening's fix of dairy milk. You're bringing chocolate, Cher. Good girl. Look forward to it. You might have to give me a bit and all. So you're bringing chocolate, and Leroy's bringing the rest. I think Leroy is as he is a professional chef in his away from farming simulator. You're doing the catering, aren't you, mate? So you are rocking. Ooh, sugar. Trying to read the chat and drive along my headland. So you are still rocking the farm sim top. I am indeed. It's still the. I've only got this one still and one hoodie. Yeah, I am still rocking it. I don't wear it that often, but yeah. Yeah, it's. I like my t-shirt. It's pretty good. Although, funnily enough, actually, one of my mates down at the workshop, he's got his own little business as well, tuning cars and race prepping Civics and doing all that kind of stuff. And he has he's found a supplier who can supply and print and do all his liveried up t-shirts and jackets and hats and stuff for a decent amount of money. I only had this t-shirt and one hoodie made. The hoodie cost me 45 quid. And I appreciate the more you buy, the cheaper it gets. But to be fair, it's quite a good quality hoodie. It's one of those really thick, heavy ones, like really thick and really heavy, which is kind of how I like them. And this is it's all about the GSM with t-shirts, and this is a really thick, heavy t-shirt, which again I like. So maybe that was why it cost a bit more. But I think this t-shirt was about 30 quid. But yeah, there you go. You're bringing a pig. Oh, are you actually doing a hog roast, Leroy? Please tell me you're bringing a hog roast. Should make your one in-game white too. It's a good point, actually. Yeah. Well, I think I've only got the hoodie. Leroy did that for me, didn't you? Because I'm literally useless with that Wardrobe Plus mod. You did that for me a while back for me and Mrs. Sim Gamer when we were doing our multiplayer series. But yeah, I've only got the hoodie on here, mate, that's got my logo on it. I could make it white if I wanted to, of course. Tell them at Lama to do a radio station for it. Farm Sim radio. How cool would that be? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Farming simulator radio. We've kind of got that in game, haven't we? But I can't really. I think due to copyright reasons, that's why none of us creators put that on, because we haven't got the license for the music. I certainly am, Mark. I am going to Lama next year. Very much looking forward to it. I have my ticket booked, and apparently I do also have confirmed by Yoss over email. I have my my place booked at the community event. I don't think I'm not doing anything on stage, but he said because I don't think I'd had an email confirmation back from it yet, and I did just ask him if he could confirm if I had a place, and he said, oh yeah, and I think he described me as a VIP, and I was like, what? I've never been called a VIP in my life. So yeah, anyway, yes, I'm going to Lama. I'm very much looking forward. It's going to be a bit different this year, isn't it? We're not with Giants not being there. I suppose it'll be a case of wandering around the show and just enjoying the place, and obviously bringing my GoPro with me and making a bit of a video for you all of my time at Lama, and then off to the hotel to go meet up with all you wonderful people, and everyone's going to be there, because that's going to be pretty cool, isn't it? Right, let's start on the up and down road, shall we? I've lost count of how many headlands I've done. I usually only do 2 or 3 with a 6-metre cultivator. Check me out though. No GPS, no course play, just a bit of cruise control. It's about time I did things by hand on my own for a bit, isn't it? So yeah, I completely agree, Welsh. It really is something of a masterpiece, that farm. I love playing on that. I must admit, I need to get an episode of that done, really. I need to get an episode of a whole load of things done. That's one of the reasons why I jumped on here, not just because of the 7,000 subscribers that we've ticked over this week, but just because life got in the way these last few days, so I couldn't, I didn't have the time to cobble a video together for everyone for yesterday evening, so I kind of figured I'd try and kill two birds with one stone, get another video out this week, and do a live stream. So here we are. No courseplay. Who is this? Yeah, that's right. It's weird. It really is. But yeah, it's all good. Your place is confirmed at the meet. It definitely is, mate. If you're bringing the food, your place is absolutely confirmed. Head of the table. I am looking forward to trying your wares, I must admit, Leroy. You'll bring the beers. Nice. I think I might be driving home, but thank you very much, Kimmy. Congrats on 7k subs. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that. It's very kind. Very kind indeed. It's I think I've said this so many times, whether it be in a YouTube post when we have jumped over another milestone, but it's properly humbling, this YouTube journey. It really is, to be considered part of this wonderful community that is Farming Simulator. It's special. It really is, because you're all wonderful people. I know just from being in the background, like my stepson, he doesn't do it much anymore, to be fair. This was a couple of years back, but he was always, you know, he plays the shoot people in the face games, you know, like Destiny and Call of Duty and all that. And the communities that those games can spawn can be, now and again, they can be quite not a very nice place to be, because everyone's can be a bit. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be derogatory live on the internet to anyone, so I suppose I better watch what I say, but I'm sure you know what I mean. You know, whereas the community we have for Farming Simulator, everyone's just wonderful, and it's so cool to be part of it. It's humbling, it really is. Am I doing both days? I'm not sure, Cher. Probably not. Like I did last year, I'm only, because Lama takes place in Birmingham. Birmingham's only a handful of miles away. It's just a few junctions down the M6 for me, at maybe about an hour and a half's journey, maybe something like that, an hour tops. I'll probably just be doing the one day. Probably, I don't actually know whether to go on the first day or the second day. Anyone who's done both days, is there a better day to go on? Or, in my mind, I'm probably just a bit too excited to do it, so I'll probably just want to go on the first day. But the show's the same either day, isn't it? All the equipment doesn't move. And I'm assuming the community event, does that take place only on one of the 2 days? The first day, Mark. Right, done. First day it is. The Farm Sim community is a family. Absolutely, share. It's a family. I couldn't have put it better myself, mate. It really is. I'm so grateful to have met so many of you in person on my Discord. I love having all these conversations we have on there, and it's just a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful thing to be part of. So Darren first, there we go. 2 confirmations to say come on the first day, so I shall be there on the first day. The meet is only on the first day. There we go. Yes, Kay, I know. Yeah, you're a few miles away for that one, aren't you, mate? It's that'd be. I mean, you could try and maybe travel a few miles south and see if you can sneak into DJ or Farmer Cop's suitcase and see if they can drag you over. I'm sure DJ's got a suitcase just for his cameras and all of his technology equipment, so maybe, you know, you could shuffle your way in there. I'll bring the crisps. Yeah, it's a shame that, I know. It'd be good to see all of you like from across the pond there, but I'll certainly make a video for you all as best as possible anyway, so you can see what Lama 2025 has to offer. I just can't forget going to Lama last year, and again being relatively new to the Farming Simulator community, and also to farming in general. I've always loved the game for the last few years, and I live in a relatively sleepy Cheshire village where tractors and slurry tanks and stuff can be quite regular. But the machinery that I see rattling up and down the road, for example, There's a couple of John Deere 6155s that I see quite regular, and there's a New Holland T7. But as for things like combine harvesters, and it's something I said in the video I made from previous Llama, is that the one thing this game just can't do, because it's a video game, is portray the sense of scale. And standing next to an ideal, I think it was a Fendt 10T combine harvester at the last Llama, was like, it was massive and it was brilliant. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to being dwarfed by a small baler this year. Andreas, good evening, mate. Hope you're well. How are you? FARMERSIM will meet Sim Farmer and PC player Malk. I hope so. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. That'll be pretty good. I've met Leroy. I've been very fortunate enough. Me and Leroy got together at the last Llama, and we sat down together with Mrs. SG and her sister and had some lunch, didn't we, mate? We went for a wander. But yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting everyone else as well. Yes, I do love a Fendt, Darren. I must admit, I am very partial to a Fendt, especially this one. This one's an absolute beast. And one thing, it's not actually going to work too well on this field because it's not too bumpy, but I'm actually trialling a mod that came out on the Mod Hub as in beta. Oh, was it Mod Hub? I don't actually know. No, it might have been King Mods, I think I saw it on. It's a mod that alters the camera in the seat, so it makes it a bit more bouncy, a bit more realistic for the camera bounce when you sat in cab. But unfortunately, this field is relatively smooth, so it doesn't actually do much in here. But maybe as the work gets a bit bumpier as we progress, maybe we'll see. You will probably only be at the meet due to the food. Well, that's fair enough. Yeah, I can appreciate that, mate. I really can. You've got, well, no pun intended, but you've got quite a lot on your plate that day, haven't you? And I've just missed a bit. I suppose that's the one of the difficulties of being in cab mode, unless you just don't forget to look behind you, is the risk of missing bits. So let's just jump out there again, make it a little bit easier. You saw a square brailer drive past the other day. Those things are as big as a house. Absolutely, Dutch. It's crazy, isn't it, when you think about how long we've been playing with these things in the game. And for example, you go, right, I'm going to get a small baler, and you see them in the game, they just look like a small baler. But when you see what is a small baler in real life, they are humongous. The Giants stand stage was near a handful of balers actually back at Llama, and they're massive. They're absolutely huge. It's incredible, it really is. You have the Fendt Black Beauty. Yeah, that is a nice looking tractor, to be fair. I've just got a real soft spot for these LSFM ones that have the inflatable and deflatable tyres. You see the Vario grip system inside the wheel there. I can inflate and deflate the tyres, and it's really, really cool. And it's not just a gimmick either. It genuinely works. I was mowing a grass field and baling a grass field on Deutschland, and it was a really steep hill, and my little Fendt on that series was struggling to get up the hill, pulling the weight of the baler behind it. So I deflated the tyres to spread the weight and spread the load of the tractor over a larger surface area, and blow me down. It worked. So it's not just a gimmick. It's pretty cool. Hey Dagger, how you doing, mate? You okay? Hope you're well. Cheers for joining us, mate, on your Saturday evening. Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate your time. You put some pictures of the hog roast in Scroff's Discord. Oh, did you? Oh, we'll have to go and check that out after this, mate. Because I need no encouragement in being made to feel hungry. Pictures of a hog roast. Oh, did you? That's just clicked actually. Did you put that in his new thread, Leroy? Him and Beanie. It was Beanie's idea, wasn't it? That she created a thread for essentially for food, and I love that. I didn't actually have any. I'm not one of them who regularly takes photographs of my food, but needless to say, I was hungry in about 4.5 seconds from scrolling through that. Hey Tam, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. You well? Nice to see you, mate. Cheers for joining us and spending your time with us on your Saturday evening. Hope you're good. Hope you're good. You are a fan of the Massey, aren't you, Kay? I do like a Massey though, let's be honest. I saw a nice Massey actually in the village a couple of days ago. Like I said before, there's a local farm who run a couple of 6155Rs, John Deere's, and they're really nice tractors, to be fair. There's a couple of New Holland T7s, like I say, but then the other day there was I can't remember the exact model number of it, but there was a big red Massey at the traffic lights with a high-spec slurry tanker behind it, a blue one actually, the slurry tanker that is, and I'd never seen it before, and it was like, ooh. But I didn't have my phone on me to take a picture and post it in my Discord and go, ooh, look at that. That would have been a pretty good one. You remember the Fendt Black Beauty in FS 2009, full trailer, and it did a wheelie. Goodness me. You didn't even last 4 seconds in that chat before you were making a munch. Oh, brilliant. Glad to have, yeah. It was a difficult one, that one, on Scruff's Discord. It was like, because I remember him he put the post out saying, right everyone, me and Beanie have created this new thread. Or whatever you call a thread on Discord, and within about literally like 30 seconds, boom, 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 there was just post after post after post of some delicious banquet in front of you. And Leroy, you were pretty quick to the mark, weren't you? You posted a load of pictures of your professional handiwork, shall we say? It was like proper stuff. It was like, oh my god, look at that. But maybe I didn't stay long enough to see the hog roast, because I probably have to put the phone down and go and burgle my pantry cupboard and see what I didn't have in there to eat. We need Kermit to come to Lama. I mean, maybe they will be. I don't know, but I don't believe Giants in the same are going in the same capacity as they did last year. But at the same time, I mean, obviously they are gonna. I know 25's coming out on the 12th of November, and we're a couple of months after that, but maybe they're not prepared to commit to Lama this year purely because the new game's coming out, and I suppose they're going to be sitting behind that and concentrating on that and making sure it's all working tickety-boo, I suppose. Yes, it is, Tam. This is the LSFM Fendt, the 942 edition. I've also on this series, I just love the LSFM mods themselves. It's the engine noises, because they sound different. They have a custom engine sound to them, and it's just nice after all this time of playing 22, where generally as a rule most of the machinery most of the tractors sound similar. It's nice to have these big beefy engine sounds just to give that bit of a custom feel. So this one is the LSFM. The fast track that I've got over in the shed over there, that's the LSFM edition as well. Want me to put some pictures of the hog in your Discord? I'm not even going to answer that, mate. You know the answer to that one, don't you? Yes. Post hog, please, Leroy. You use mostly LSFM as well, do you, Tam? Yeah, there's some wonderful mods. They really are. There's some lovely machinery, and they've got some nice extra bits to them as well that you don't ordinarily find. Like I said before, like the tire inflation systems on this. Just awesome, really are. So we're not too far off being finished this field now. We've got 2 more to get cultivated. Sorry, and then I suppose this is where I haven't really thought that far ahead. We do have a field of grass to mow and ted to turn into hay, of course, but we don't actually own a mower and we don't actually own a tedder. We've got 102 grand, but I'm a bit hesitant. I'm not going to go and just blow a load of money on a tedder and a mower setup. I think we'll just lease something for now, because this was always intended to be a mini series. Like I said at the very beginning of the series in episode 1, I wasn't taking it too seriously. I wasn't going to be, being too particular about the details and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to enjoy playing the map again, because it's probably been a couple of years before starting this series. It had probably been literally about 2 years since I'd even, you know, spent any time down here on Calmsden Farm, and it's, quite frankly, that's criminal, because it really is one of the best maps. Hey Dancer, good evening mate, how you doing? Good to see you, cheers for joining us mate. You guess you're late to the party. No you're not mate, you're not late, you're here, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Good to see you mate, hope you're well, hope you're well. But yeah, this is one of the greats, isn't it? I'm sure you've all got to agree with me, Calmsden Farm is one of the greats. I know I've seen many questions on Facebook, especially in Oxy's Facebook group that he's got in there, on there. So many people asking, are you converting this? Are you converting that to 25? And it's like, he has already said that that's not really on the cards, but Whitcomb Park Farm though, eh? That looks special. And I'm sure you can, well, as soon as that comes out, I'm doing a series on it, you can absolutely guarantee, because that is gorgeous. And obviously when it comes to the game itself, and obviously the YouTubey thing, obviously I started my YouTube channel well into the life cycle of FARMERSIM 22, so being able to start a brand new game with a you know, a established YouTube channel, I suppose, is going to be great. So I'll be able to see through the entirety of FARMERSIM 25 from start to finish. So I'd like to think that when Whitcomb does come out, which I believe people have said, I think it's been said it's not going to be expected till October 25, which is about right, you know, when you factor in, excuse me, how long it takes modders to make these gorgeous mods and maps, and especially the level of detail that Oxy goes to in his maps. October 25 isn't really going to be a long wait, really, is it, when we're going to be presented with such masterfulness at the end of it. I can't wait, I really can't. Peter Geelan, good evening mate, how you doing? You alright? Good to see you. You live 5 minutes from Whitcomb, do you, Leroy? Well, there you go, didn't know that. Well, that's pretty cool. So you can actually go to the areas that Oxy's created, can you? How's the Civic, Tam? It's all right. That's actually one of the reasons why I wasn't able to get a video out for yesterday, because I was down at the workshop giving it a full service, oil change and the like. I needed to do it. It was a good couple of years overdue for a service. It doesn't get driven. It's not a daily. It's only done about 1,000 miles since the last MOT last year, just under. But it was overdue for a service like you wouldn't believe. So, and I needed to work with the availability of one of the ramps at the workshop. So, took it down on Thursday. That was my available window. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why I couldn't get a video out for Friday. But yeah, Civic's fine, thank you mate, it's all good, running sweet as a nut. It's it feels like it's, I don't know if any of you are like this, maybe it's just me because I'm a bloody weirdo, but, or whether it's just the what do you call it, oh, my brain's gone blank now, the placebo effect, sorry, that's what it was. But I changed the oil, and the car immediately just felt just that little bit happier with me. Do you know what I mean? Everything was just a little bit smoother. The engine was just a bit more peppy. Not that it wasn't in the first place, because it rips, that car does, but it was just a little bit happier with me now that it had a fresh engine of oil. No, absolutely, Dutch, you cannot destroy a Civic. Not that I've... well, you probably can if I... There are ways of doing it, but yeah, they're pretty bomb-proof, let's just say, and especially the K-Series engines, that they are mighty lumps, let's be honest. Peroloff, good evening, sir. How are you? Good to see you. Good evening to you, mate. Hope all's good. Glad you're well, Peter. Yeah, I'm very good. Very nice to see the person behind the videos. Is it? Yes, this is me, mate. I have done a few live streams before. Not many, but I've done a few. I have been behind the camera once or twice, showing you my ugly mush. When it comes out, you're going to do a roleplay series on and also do a map tour, but do it in stages, doing it in game and in real life. Oh, a real life one. That sounds pretty cool, mate. You can destroy everything around a Civic, but the mechanics will never die. Almost with you there, Pete. Yes. Mostly, yes. And I can speak from experience because I've completely rebuilt mine from the ground up. At least once, when I had to tackle some rust, because it is a 24-year-old Civic at the end of the day. Rust is rust, and rust kills cars, and JDM cars don't, or Japanese cars don't usually have a huge amount of rust protection, so I've stripped mine to a bare shell on my driveway, fuel tank and everything, and I had to replace quite a lot of it just because it was old, and once you're taking it off, it needed to be, there was no point putting old stuff back on, it needed to be replaced. So all the running gear and stuff, obviously, you know, standard stuff, track rod ends and trailing rear bottom arms and all that kind of stuff, suspension mounts and bushes, and yeah, they were all replaced. And if they weren't replaced, they were kind of took them back with a grinder and give them a fresh coat of paint. So it looks really quite nice now underneath, to be honest. I blew up my boosted MX-5 playing with the Civic on the B roads of Mexico. A boosted MX-5. That sounds like fun. Standard 1.8 with a turbo. Is that what you did, Tam? The question was, how big was the turbo? And was it a standard engine? Did you go with it? Was it just a standard engine with a standard bottom end? And you just bolted a great big whopping turbo on there and just crossed your fingers and hoped for the best? That's the way to do it, mate. That's one of the great things about the K-Series engine, actually. You can turbocharge them, because it's quite a common thing, to a certain level, to a certain power, and keep standard pistons and bottom end. And as long as the mapping is done right and safely, they'll go forever. And that's the over-engineeredness of the Honda K-Series. They're just brilliant. Is it true that I am FSG's brother? You've seen a few rumours on the interwebs. No, mate, I'm not FSG's brother. No, no. I'm very fortunate enough that I can say I can call FSG a friend. I've met him. I've spoke to him a handful of times over email. I have met him in person at Lama. That was the first and only time I have met him. And I try and get onto his live streams as often as I can. But no, we're not brothers. We did. Funnily enough, a strange coincidence. We did actually kind of swap geographically. He lives now where I was born and raised, and I now live here where he used to live. I live in Cheshire, 10 minutes away from where his mother and father still live, and he lives in Edinburgh, where I used to live. So it's, but yeah, we're not related in any way at all. That is indeed how I did it, but at the time me and my buddy were breaking MX-5s and had engines for days. Well, that's even better, mate. That's an even better thing. You could just go, right, let's just bolt this gigantic truck turbo onto the side of this, enjoy it for 25 minutes until it blows itself sky high, and just throw another lump in. That sounds like ultimate fun. Yeah, it really does that, actually. I wish I could have been there. But you destroyed it trying to race a Civic. There you go. Yeah. All I can say is, damn, so well done. I'm in the US and I would fly over for some of that. I must admit... Oh, sorry, Leroy. I missed that post up there before. Pictures are in your Discord. Brilliant. Right, I'll check them out afterwards, mate. Leroy, that hog roast looks mega. Oh, I'm going to have to look now, aren't I? There we go. And you've even put spoilers on the spoiler tags. Right, here we go. Let's have a look, see. Oh, that looks... Damn! Oh, dude! This looks special. I'm trying to cultivate a field with one eye and look at Leroy's delicious hog roast with another. Right, let's drop that down, line that up roughly about straight so I can take my attention away from it for at least 5 seconds while I take that in. Oh my god. Dude, that's special. Can I show the world on the... do you mind if I show... am I allowed to show the picture on the camera, Leroy? I'll post pictures of what was left of the piss and the rod. Please do, mate. Oh, there you go. Check that out, people. Can you see that? Oh, yeah. Dude. That looks extra appetizing. And I haven't actually had any tea, dinner, food, anything. And it's just occurred to me that I'm absolutely ravenous. And now I want a hog roast. The world seems to be small. My wife comes from Edinburgh too. Does she, Andreas? There you go. It's a beautiful place, Edinburgh. I miss Scotland. I really do. My homeland. Right, that's that one field done. Let's just jump into the map here and just make sure that I haven't missed any spots, which I have. Just down the side here. See, does anyone else do that? So, when you've done some work in a field, jump into the map PDA there, and as you can see there, there's some tiny little bits along the edge of the field there. That I've seen that patch there as well. But does anyone else do that, where you can't leave that, even though it will make just about no difference whatsoever to the yield and to the field in the future when you drill it and you reseed it and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, I can't leave that. That's after you've spent 40 or 50 odd minutes in a field doing a job, you can't leave it like that, can you? It's just sacrilege. So, where are we? Right, I think that's all of it. That looks like a bit there that might have been missed, is it? Oh no. Right, okay. And then, somewhere over... where is it? Where's the patch? Oh, there it is. Got it. Got it. Yes, Mark. It is. Well, it's a little bit of OCD, isn't it? I've always said this game is absolutely wonderful for exercising OCD. And it's little things like that that you just can't leave that, can you? That's rubbish. Good. I'm glad at least some of you are on board with that. That makes me feel better that I'm not a complete weirdo on my own. You'll let Courseplay... well, obviously I normally let Courseplay do it as well, but even Courseplay's not infallible, is it? Courseplay will sometimes miss bits, and no matter how well you plan your Courseplay course, it can still miss bits and make... doesn't really make mistakes anymore, does it? Not like that, like I've just done. I've just bashed into my fence post. Here we are, field number 2. Let's drop that down. How nice is that Leyland there? Nope, whoops. Hey. Little synchro there. It's an absolute beauty. It's not much use to me on the farm, but it's just a gorgeous little thing, and I just wanted to have it. Just, well, the only thing it can really do on this farm is tow the header, but it's a lovely thing. You're happy to stay a weirdo too, Peter? Good man. We'll be weirdos together, mate. I'm happy to be a weirdo in that respect. Can't leave bits. Just can't do it. Doesn't feel right. You do that for grass, do you, Sin? Well, I kind of do it with any field work, whether it's liming, fertilising, cultivating, ploughing, seeding, any field work at all. I always make sure that I jump into the map PDA afterwards and make sure that every little bit, regardless of the size of the field, even if it's a gigantic field that'll take me 10 minutes to get to the tiny little speck that I've missed, I will always go and get it, because it won't sit right with me. I'll turn the game off and I'll end up having to turn the game back on again just to go and get the bits, because it just can't do it. It's just against my religion as a complete weirdo. That's all I can say. By the way, who mentioned prawn cocktail before? I've got prawn cocktail crisps here. These were requested by Chimera. She said she'd only join the live stream if there were snacks. So I asked her what snacks that she'd like, and she said crisps. And she was easy on the flavour. So I have a bowl of crisps just for you, and I can tell you that they're lovely. I also can't leave a tiny straw or grass left on the field every litre. No, absolutely, mate. Yeah, totally with you there. Like when you're mowing a field of grass, can't leave bits. And if I have left bits before, but they've been pure. I've missed them purely by accident. But yeah, no, can't do it. You've got to get as much as possible. That one bloody weed that you can't get. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Although this thing seems to be doing an admirable job of getting rid of these weeds and giving a bit of fresh cultivation. Now, as you can see, there's a bit of an edge on this field, isn't there? That's because these are... In fact, why is that? It's done it on the other field as well. As you can see there, I cultivated the field, but there's a big... Oh, I know why. Yeah. This is because if you miss bits, you ain't going back. As long as you can live with it, mate, you're alright. That's all that matters. It just is one of those things where it just doesn't sit right with me. I can't rest until it's done because I'm a weirdo. That's all I can say. I just can't sit still. It's like, no, if I've left a bit, if I've left a patch, I can't move on unless I've got it. But yeah, the reason why that dark patch is there on the outer edge of the field is because when I started this series, I used easy development controls to put the crop that I wanted into the field, and for some reason it didn't fill the whole field, whereas when I re-drill this, it'll be drilled right to the edge, and the next time it's harvested and cultivated, the field will be the same texture all the way to the end. So that's all down to easy development controls. You did it prior to Vintage Oaks too, but the field sizes are too massive for you to bother. I thought I'd feel the same about that, Sin, but no, I can't do it on there either. I own the biggest field on the Vintage Oaks, field 62. Yeah, and I can't do it. I've got to go and get the bits that I missed. Like I said, even if it takes 10 minutes to drive to the other bit, to the other side of the field to get the tiny little inconsequential bit of field that I've missed, it still just has to be done. Can't leave it be. But hey, that's the joy of the game, though, isn't it? It's one of the joys of the game. You can play it how you want, and there's so many different ways of playing this game. It can satisfy your OCDs if you're weirdos like us, or you can not bother if you're as relaxed as Chimera is. It's just great. It really is. It really is. Yeah, this is going down well now. I think I'm only gonna do a couple of headlands on here, and then we'll jump straight into the centre road, I feel. Some save games I have on different maps. I have 3 balers, 1 for straw, 1 for hay, and 1 for grass. That's not a bad idea, actually. That's a nice thought. If you've got the money to do that, that's not a bad idea, is it? Yeah. Never thought of doing that, actually, because obviously 1 baler does everything, doesn't it? And sometimes, depending on what's left in the baler after the previous pickup, say for example, we've just done a pickup of some straw, but you've actually got 94% left in the baler. As soon as you get into a field of hay, for example, and you want to start tedding some hay, baling up some hay, you'll benefit from that 94% of whatever product was left in the baler, which I appreciate isn't very realistic. A baler can't suddenly just magically turn 80% of its contents from one product to another, but within the... Ooh, look at that, you see. Was that the weed you were talking about, Mark? The one bloody weed. There we go. Yeah, I appreciate a baler can't actually turn product from one to another, but it's one of those nice little bits of the game that you can benefit from, isn't it? I usually have 2 balers, square for hay and straw, round for grass making silage. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Definitely, definitely. I have loan on 1 save game. I don't do well on that save game. We've all been there, mate. We've all been there. You're trying to get your head around Terralife, Dutch. My head hurts. Funnily enough, I had a very, very similar conversation a couple of months back with you, didn't I, Kay? Because you got your head into Terralife. You called me a Maze Plus denier as well the other day, didn't you? Which is partially true. I'm not a denier, I just can't get my 14 brain cells around it. It's just too much. And I think Dutch, by the sounds of things, you're about the same as me then, Dutch, are you? Don't get me wrong, Terralife, what it brings to the game, for those of you who are appreciative of the vast amounts of detail that it can produce, it's an amazing mod. It really is. But I just don't want to make myself look even more of an idiot on the internet than I already do, so I can't. I'm just not going to get my head around Terralife. Like I say though, I'm not taking away from the wonder that it is, because I know that a lot of people are really, really enjoying it and benefiting from it. But I mean, again, that's testament to the modders though, isn't it? This game is, I mean, the game's not going to die, is it, for a very, very long time. The fact that 25's moments away, we're still getting amazing maps. I mean, I was a couple of days late with the map tour, to be fair, but I did a map tour for a Scottish map, didn't I, a few days ago. What was it called now? Gateshead Farm. Gorgeous map, absolutely gorgeous. And we're getting maps like that at this stage in the game. Modders are, and there's one more that I'm still waiting for, and it's one that I've seen in Oxy's Facebook page repeatedly over the last few months, and it's as far as I'm aware, it's called Lancashire, I think. It's not the thing by Bullet Bill. It's another one, I think, and it looks beautiful. There's a Facebook user who has been posting images, because he's on the testing team for this particular map, and it looks amazing. Now Lancashire is literally 10 minutes that way, or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, that way for me. So it's right on my doorstep. So I'm really excited for its release, and I've been keeping my eye. Apparently the creator has said it'll be available on. He's not going to try and get it onto the mod hub, just because of the amount of work involved in getting a mod onto the mod hub and map. I think it's going to be on King Mods and a few other of the reputable sharing sites. But yeah, the fact that I mean, I'm hoping, touch wood, we might see that in the next couple of weeks, but it looks gorgeous. It really does. You were born in Burnley, mate. I know that you were born in Burnley, weren't you, mate? Not far from me. My mate works in Burnley, actually. I think he said it's for for 25. Is that right, Stephen? Are you referring to the Lancashire map? You say it's going to be for 25? Did I miss that bit, and I've just been waiting for this map that's never ever going to come to 22? That's typical, isn't it? Story of my life, that. You've not even started on animals yet. It's brilliant, but I don't think it's YouTube material. Way too detailed. It doesn't make for easy watching and relaxing stuff. No, I can imagine it's, yeah. I think we're on the same wave level there, mate. Yeah. I'd love to be able to do something with Maze Plus. I've still never got my noodle around Maze Plus, and I don't think I ever will. And again, I'm not taking away from it. I know it's an incredibly detailed addition to FARMERSIM 22. But I just like making cinematic videos and buggering around on save games like this. It's just, this is what I like to do. You were born in Burnley as well, Cher? Are you a northern lass, love? I didn't know that. There we go. On the back of my map tour of Gateshead. I nearly said that, Butch, actually, at the beginning of the map tour, because Gateshead is an area in northeast England, and I said not to. I was almost going to say welcome to Gateshead Farm, not to be confused with Gateshead Farm, which is in the northeast of England, in Geordieland, like. But yeah. I've started a new save game on it, 73 hours and 3 game years into it. Goodness me, mate, nice work. I'm glad you're enjoying the map. It is a gorgeous map, isn't it? Oh, don't worry, Butch, I'm only being daft, but yeah. As soon as I saw it, it was me making a mental note on a piece of paper for me, not to make sure that I didn't spell it wrong or say it wrong, because trying to be factually correct. Gateshead is a different place to Gateshead, but yeah. Ribblesdale in Clitheroe. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's not far at all, mate. Clitheroe. When you say touch wood, I put my hand on my head and you touch yours at the same time. Yeah, I always do that, mate, yeah. Touch wood. Even though I've got a big wooden desk in front of me, it's, yeah, touch wood. Padiham! You were in Padiham, Mark. That's where that we used to go to Minis and Metros. One of my best friends has always been into Minis, classic Minis, and Minis and Metros. M&M's was in Padiham. Oh, I've not been up there for ages. It's a gorgeous little place, Padiham. Yeah. You're a Lancashire lass, Cher. Good glass. There we are. You're a northern lass. Gateshead Farm is brilliant, but I do wish it was a bit more customisable. I suppose, well, yeah, well, I must admit that's actually one aspect of it that I didn't look into when I was doing the map tour, when it came to going into the construction menu. So you can't actually remove many of the buildings, can you, in the base game construction menu, is that right? Welsh? You probably could if you... I mean, map objects hider might work. I used to find that mod quite useful before I discovered how easy it was to load a map into Giant's Editor and just go click, delete, click, delete. I was over the moon when I learned how to do that. I really was. I felt like, well, I don't know, I just felt like an ultra computer whiz when I did that, and it's like, yeah, you simpleton. Considering what you can do with GE, all I'd figured out how to do was to highlight a hedge and press the delete button and then click save and successfully load the save game up without any errors. Result. Yos! Which young man are you looking at, mate? Good to see you, mate. How you doing? You alright? Hope you're well. I do hope you're doing well. Very much looking forward to Llama, mate. Have you mastered Mod Assistant yet, FARMERSIM? No, I haven't. Are you on about the save game thing where you can basically sort out all your mods for all your different save games? No, I haven't. I really haven't. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Yos. Very good, thank you, mate. Very good indeed. That's it, it's not too bad on PC with Object Hider, but some parts of buildings can't be hidden. So you could end up with some floating door... Yeah, do you know what, I have actually experienced that. I tried to delete my standard farmhouse on Edgewater, if I remember correctly, way back when. And I could delete almost all of it, apart from, like you say, there was bits that were floating around. So, no, I can appreciate that, but maybe, Welsh, have a go at GE. It's really not that, it's not that daunting. It might be just as simple to delete a house or a building in GE as it is to delete a hedge. So it's worth a try. Just make a backup of the save game of the map file before you do, and you've got nothing to lose, mate. Do you know what? Yes, I do remember you saying we did have a discussion, didn't we, where you were gonna give me some tutorials on how to use that. And it's, don't get me wrong, mate. I wasn't being. I certainly haven't wanted to appear rude and not take you up on that very kind offer. I've been so busy for such a long time, finding a schedule to do this. I have actually found quite difficult, because I must admit, at the minute, these last 7 or 8 months now, we're in the middle of selling the house that we live in here. So every week we've been getting viewings at the house, and I get phone calls from the estate agent saying, all right, we've got a couple of families who want to view, can you do this day, that day? And I have to try and schedule all this around making content. And like I've said in a handful of occasions before, for me to make one of my normal videos, it's almost a full day's work. It's almost a full day to record stuff, and then I've got to edit it and wait for it to render and upload it and that kind of stuff, and then yeah, finding the time to juggle all of that, it's as well as get my overloaded noodle around new things. I do need to pick up on it, because so many people have said it just makes life so much easier, and I do appreciate that. But then there's so many mods that I've needed to get my head around, Maze Plus and all that kind of stuff. I never get that comment, it's not customizable, so a modder works months on and on, and people aren't happy about the fact they cannot change anything. Why not just enjoy? Well, I suppose, Dutch, this is, again, one of the many wonderful aspects of this game is most things, most maps, or a lot of maps, you are able to jump on and change things to how you want them to be changed. And I suppose that sometimes when someone jumps onto a map and that option isn't available to them, it's kind of stops them in the tracks. I don't know, it's one of them, innit? Pitter patter, FARMERSIM, get at her. It is easy to make a thing removable by default, though. Is it, Joss? Yes. I'm no good at understanding the wonder that is map making. But then I suppose it's maybe it's just down to the vision that the map maker has for that particular map. Maybe, I don't know. Like again, referring back to Oxy and the likes of this Calmsden and Court Farms, they're built and designed around real life areas, aren't they? And this generally, this setup exists in real life, doesn't it? So I don't know. You know what I mean? Farmer Mike, hello sir, how you doing? Good to see you. Cheers for joining. Sunny Saturday evening, mate. Hope all's good. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm very good, thank you, Mike. Very good indeed. I figured I wasn't, like I said to everyone already, I wasn't able to get a video out for you all for yesterday night. So, and as the channel has crept over the threshold of 7,000 subs, I figured I better show my face and do a live stream and say a big thank you to you all for getting the channel to where we are now. Very, very appreciative, very, very grateful. Giant said it can be a bit much to faff with, but it is also not terribly hard to utilise depending on what you are aiming to do. Absolutely, Kate, absolutely. You can't miss me, I've got hair, Mark. Left 18 parents still live there. It is a brilliant map, Welsh, I've got to say. It's a beautiful map. And now that, obviously since doing that map tour, I quite incorrectly said in that, well, not incorrectly, I just couldn't remember, but I wasn't aware at the time of recording any other Scottish maps. But of course, it was Glen Leatham that was reminded to me in the comments. I knew that I kind of knew that I was off with that as soon as I said it, but Yeah. So I think maybe we've got 2, maybe 3 Scottish maps in 22 now. But the coastal view is gorgeous. And how cool are those? Is that trio of fighter jets that fly over? It is way cool. Because that's a common thing that you find up there, especially in the Highlands of Scotland, because there's a handful of RAF bases, so they regularly go out and do their flight practice, don't they? So it's literally a real thing. Currently, every map I have a save game on, I have fiddled with in some way in Giants Editor. I know you have, Kay, haven't I? Don't I? How long did we spend trying to fix your vintage oaks, mate? Before we realised what was the problem? Eh? Might it have been a handful of custom crops? Possibly. Hmm? Yeah. And they fly over every morning. I stop every time and watch them go by. That's pretty cool, Butch. We get helicopters here. I'm literally almost completely, almost directly underneath the flight path for. There is an army base several miles that way, and we get Chinooks. Anyone who's ever heard or even seen a Chinook, and I'm sure you know what a Chinook is. You know, the twin-bladed helicopters that were made in the 60s. They still fly over here, but when you hear one coming, and usually they actually fly in pairs as well over here, and the noise they make is absolutely incredible. It's like it's just a helicopter, but with like a million more decibels of air-pushing bass. It's like it's well good. I'm a proper geek for stuff like that, but we get some pretty cool heavy lift military choppers flying over as well as those things. It's and we've had a few Apaches as well. When you see an Apache flying over, oh my god, that's cool. Oh, don't even. I'm still having. Oh, are you? Okay, on the vintage oaks. Oh, interesting. And that's unrelated to the custom crops. Do tell more. I seen the day you put that clip up and I downloaded it that night. I'm going to stop at the time of day when I see on fly over there. They were amazing. It is a brilliant map, mate. Yeah. Don't know about the RAF, but over here there's an uneven number of planes fly over in formation. Then that's a bad sign. I live near an RNAF base myself. Ah. Yeah, the blade slap. That's a good description of it. Yeah, the blade slap. The Chinook is among the fastest. The Chinook is among the fastest, if not the fastest helicopter. Is that right, Sin? I'm just, forgive me, I didn't mean to sound like I was doubting you there. You clearly know more than I do, but it's not surely the fastest helicopter. An Apache's faster than a Chinook, isn't it? A Chinook's like a big. That's like the articulated truck of the helicopter world, isn't it? Because it's big and heavy. Don't get me wrong. I don't know anything at all like that. It's just if I'd been asked to guess that, I'd have been, well, clearly completely wrong, wouldn't I? But is it really the Chinook? Because they don't seem to move that fast. Because they're heavy lift choppers, aren't they? They're designed to lift heavy things. Hence why they've got 2 sets of rotors. But interesting though, if they are still considered the fastest, considering they're probably one of the oldest as well, because they were in service during the Vietnam War, weren't they? They're very old, most of them. It's still something I did, not related to the crops. Like I said, I fiddle. But that, again, that's the great thing about the game, isn't it? The fact that you can do these things. It's like you can create a save game and go, no, right, I want to do it this way, and I want to do this, and I'm going to change this and do that. It's great. There's not that many games. I mean, you can't do that with games like Grand Theft Auto or Airwolf is the fastest. Yes. Bang on. There's that image that was on the internet years ago where it was like a phrase, 80s, that it said, "Scientists, you can't hear a picture," and then the reply was from 80s kids, and it was the picture of the opening image of Airwolf in the opening credits as it's coming up and over the brow of the hill, and obviously we all know that, don't we, Mark? And of course you can hear a picture. Brilliant. See, I miss programs like that. They don't make programs like that anymore, of course, don't they? But you know, those things that we grew up with in those days, Airwolf and Dukes of Hazzard, and you know, the A-Team and all that kind of stuff. Oh yes, absolutely. They just don't. They don't. Obviously, it's a different world in it, but we don't have programs like that anymore. It's a damn shame. Knight Rider, for goodness sake, you know. I mean, I'm a proper fan. I've got, well, I have a toy car Dukes of Hazzard. There you go. Just because reasons. Dukes of Hazzard, awesome. I haven't got an Airwolf though, unfortunately. I would love a model Airwolf. That'd be cool. Stringfellow Hawk. Airwolf was an absolute classic. But it's the theme tunes as well. You know, proper production values. Make Street Hawk, another classic, absolutely J-Star. But yeah, don't you agree? Like the theme tunes, like Airwolf is a significant theme tune from our childhood, our upbringing, as is the A-Team. And there's loads of others that, you know, memorable, awesome music that was made that I mean, I don't know, for me, as a young kid, the opening sequence to the A-Team was just, I never tired of watching it. You know, the opening sequence to the A-Team was sometimes better than the episodes itself, just because it was the opening sequence. Do you know what I mean? Is anyone else with me there? Do you know where I'm coming from there? And the cartoons as well. It was the same with the cartoons. You know, Inspector Gadget and He-Man and Thundercats, the theme tunes, the production values that went into the music for the theme tunes are so much more detailed and better than the nonsense that kids get fed today on the TV. It's, yeah. Yeah, Chinook isn't the fastest. It was at one point. The fastest helicopter isn't a helicopter, the Osprey. The Osprey, that's the... Isn't that like the plane that's got the two rotors that rotate? Was that the Osprey? Am I right with that one? Danger Mouse! Yes! Danger Mouse! Danger Mouse! Oh my god, mate. Honestly. This is a rabbit hole again. It's a nostalgic rabbit hole. Talking about wonderful stuff from yesterday. Inspector Gadget. The theme tune to Inspector Gadget, I've got it on my computer somewhere in a WAV file from years back. Remember the days of LimeWire? When you could download anything. And it's the worst quality. It's like, you know, God knows what kind of kilobytes a second that audio quality is. But it's a proper band. It's a proper group of people with drums and instruments. It's not just like one person on a keyboard on a synthesizer or anything. It's amazing. And do you remember the Raccoons? Do you remember? There's a song called, and I even know it's by an artist called Lisa Lockheed, and it's called the song's called "Run With Us," and it was the end theme tune to Raccoons, because the Raccoons had an opening theme tune and an ending theme tune, and it's a proper song. It's an actual proper song that you'd expect to hear in the pop charts. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yes, 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 yes. Our old headmaster was nicknamed Penfold. See, I still relate Penfold now when you see someone who looks similar, you know, with big round glasses and a bit of a bald head. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Yes. There's still... The internet is full of Skeletor memes still as well. He still seems to appear in many, many funny memes. Banana Man, Super Ted. Oh, yes. When Eric eats a banana. Okay. I mean, even to the point where 29 Acacia Road. I'm 43 years old, right? I couldn't remember the word placebo effect, could I, before? Because it took me a few seconds, because my brain does that sometimes, I forget words. But I can sit here now and off the tip of my tongue without thinking about it tell you that 29 Acacia Road was the address that Eric lived and when he ate a banana. I mean, how bloody pointless is that? What the crap that I've got stored in my brain. Mr. Ben. Jesus Christ, here we go. But, do you know what I mean? Do you have to hear the band they call it? The Tractors. Haven't heard the band called the Tractors, mate. Transformers, William. Transformers. Yes. No, I've never heard of the band the Tractors, Andreas. Not heard of them, mate. But yeah, how stupid is that? That's probably why I think the brain has a particular capacity. Dogtanian and the Three Muskehounds. Yes. I was almost just about to break into song then and sing the theme tune. The Dogtanian and the Three Muskehounds. But I'm live on the internet, so I won't. But yes, definitely remember Dogtanian, mate. Loved that one. That was a beauty. 1981. Yes, mate. Vintage 1981 Welsh, absolutely. That's when I was born. The 80s kids are the best kids. Or we were. Super Gran! Holy beep, J-Star. Yes, Super Gran. That's one that not a lot of people remember, but yeah, I have a vague image of... I used to watch it, but I was very, very young. And I have one image in my mind of Super Gran, and it was of her jumping off a house. Does that ring to you as well, or am I remembering something? But yes, I do remember Super Gran, but very, very vaguely. G-Force. Hong Kong Phooey, Stephen. Yes. Yeah. Brilliant stuff, honestly. The cartoons and TV shows of yesteryear. You just can't beat them. Well, that's the one. So you remember that one too, Jay? Yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Jason and the Wheel Warriors. That's the first one I'm not too familiar with, William. Jason and the Wheel Warriors. I'm trying to think of that one. I'm not sure if I've got that one. Yes, Darticus. Completely agree. Multicoloured swap shop share. That rings a bell. Multicoloured swap shop. Yeah. Excuse me. You've also got the likes of programs like Rainbow when we were really little. But then when you... Now that we're the age we are, if you go and watch a clip of Rainbow, it was very weird. And you think, Batfink! Oh my god, Batfink! Oh, do you remember Jimbo and the Jet Set? Come on. Cartoon. CITV, I think it was. That had a wonderful theme tune. I used to have the read-along cassettes, because when I was dead little, the little cassettes that we could read along with. Noel Edmonds. Oh, yeah. Do you remember the series Alf? Yes, I do remember the series Alf, mate. Definitely do. Tis was. Yeah. Yeah, does anyone remember Jimbo and the Jet Set? The Rainbow special they did after their Christmas party is very funny. I'll have to check that one out. Or will I? Should I or shouldn't I? Is it funny because it's weird and makes you go, oh my god, we used to spend time watching this? Rent-A-Ghost! Oh my god! Yeah. Oh, Roadrunner, Andreas. That's... If I had to pick a cartoon of my all-time favourites. I could watch Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Even now, at the tender age of 43 years old, I could watch Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner all day long, and it still makes me giggle. Just the... It is one of the greatest things. Love it. So simple, so effective. Just wonderful cartoons. Wonderful art. Rainbow being listened to as an adult sounds very rude. Yeah, yeah. Your bullets cannot harm me. My wings are like shields of steel. Goodness me. Going back a few years, aren't we, ladies and gentlemen? You can't beat a good reminisce, though, can you? Let's be honest. They can be some of the most wonderful conversations, going back and remembering wonderful things from our younger years. In fact, I recently saw the Cannonball Run. Oh, the film. Oh, mate. Was that? Are you telling me that's the first time you've seen Cannonball Run, Sim? There, I love those films. And Smokey and the Bandit and all that kind of stuff. Bungle the Bear. Zippy and George. That's right, Zippy. Hey, Farmer B, how you doing, mate? You okay? Good to see you, mate. Cheers for joining us on your Saturday night. Hope all's good. Link sent. Don't show it live. Well, like this. Yeah, I won't. I'll watch it after. Cheers, Mark. Appreciate that, mate. Nice one. Captain Chaos. Bloody hell. Yeah. Yeah, I love the Cannonball Run. Some of the absolute quality, especially Captain Chaos. With Windy Miller. Do you know what? I've barely been paying attention to what I've been doing in this field, because I've just been sitting. You know when you can all kind of go on autopilot, even though I'm doing this manually. There's no autopilot. But I've been subconsciously cultivating the field, having a good reminisce, thinking about all those things from years ago. And that's brilliant. Captain Caveman! Oh my god, yeah! Smokey and the Bandit is your favourite. You have all three movies. The first one's always the best, but yeah, the first one is the best. Absolutely brilliant. And I have Eastbound and Down by Jerry Reed in my car. In one of my... I have a massive USB stick. It's not physically massive. It's obviously massive in capacity, with hundreds and hundreds of music tracks on there, and Jerry Reed is on there with Eastbound and Down. So it's just... When you're driving along at certain times, at certain times driving your car, when Eastbound and Down comes on, it's like, oh, yes. And you just feel like the snowman. It's brilliant. He's just one snowman, and Eastbound and Down. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Biker Mice from Mars. Yeah, I think I remember that one. I definitely do remember that one. I think that one maybe came a few years later. Am I right? I think. Oh, do you remember Duckula? Count Duckula. Wombles! Yeah, Wombles! Oh my god, the Wombles. Oh yeah. You see, this was back in the day, before technology and 3D modelling and all that kind of stuff. It was when... Because the Wombles and... oh, what was the other one called? Heartbeat, with Tony Hart. You know, like proper... what's it called now? Stop motion. So that's what Wombles and Heartbeat was, wasn't it? And it was amazing. Fraggle Rock. Down at Fraggle Rock. Again, that's one of the greatest songs. I used to... Oh, Fraggle Rock, the whole setup they had in with the... I'm trying to remember. It's the... like, it was in a cave, wasn't it? Yeah. And they were all up on the... talking at the same time as trying to remember the images in my head, so forgive me if I sound absolutely nonsensical. Morph, that's the one, Mark. Fraggle Rock was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Magic Roundabout, Jesus Christ, yeah. BMX Bandits, yeah. No, that, I'm sure BMX Bandits was an 80s thing, Welsh. I'm almost certain, but I remember that. Because BMXs was massive in the 80s, wasn't it? Mork and Mindy. Robin Williams. Honestly, what an absolute gem that man was. You have all the Fraggle plushies with their hard plastic googly eyes. Gave them all to my eldest child. Dude, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I used to love Fraggle Rock. It was Jim Henson, wasn't it, Fraggle Rock? Is that right? And of course, yeah, what was it? Sesame Street. Sesame Street, just proper old, wholesome television. Like learning for kids, of course. But, yeah, Sesame Street was... I remember watching that all the time. That was great. Sesame Street was kind of like the sensible one that every now and again you'd even be allowed to watch in school, but then Fraggle Rock was like the fun version of Sesame Street, in my mind anyway. The clangers, oh my god. Yeah. yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm so grateful that I've got so many of you in the chat here who remember these things. The OG, oh my god, Kate, yes. I remember when they first, I was massively into the Teenage Turtles when I was a kid, to the point where my uncle lives in Vancouver, and way back then my grandmother, my uncle's mother, went over to see him, and it was cheaper to buy the Teenage Mutant Turtle toys from over stateside and in Canada than it was to get them in the UK. So my gran came back one year with all 4 of them, and I was, honestly, as a little kid, I was like proper... I've still got them somewhere. I think they're a bit knackered, like missing an arm and a whatever, but I've still got them, all 4 of them, somewhere in a box. Thundercats, anyone remember Thundercats? You must remember Thundercats because it's got one of the greatest intros to any cartoon ever. You need to watch Thundercats because it's just mega. Tom and Jerry was always quality. Yes, he was. Absolutely. Do love a bit of Tom and Jerry, or I did. Not seen that for years actually. They kind of got, because it still exists, doesn't it? Of all of those cartoons that, I mean, Tom and Jerry is very, very old, isn't it? But they kept bringing it up to date and up to date and up to date, and like to the point where the latest stuff are like really high quality cartoons, and they're brilliant. Don't get me wrong. It's wonderful that kids of this day and age can experience Tom and Jerry, but you can't beat the old cartoons, can you? Yes, Kay, you remember Thundercats. Nice one. Thundercats. Again, I had some of the Thundercat toys where they had a big lever on the back, and you'd pull the lever on the back of Lion-O's back, and his arms would just go like that. And Mum-Ra. Brilliant. And Voltron. Yeah, Voltron. Amazing. Bill and Ben, the Flower Pot Men share. Yes. This is wonderful. Do I remember He-Man from the 80s, Lervik? Absolutely do, mate. Absolutely do. What was because it was Battle Cat, wasn't it? But what was he called when he wasn't? Was it Cringer? That was the name of his cat, wasn't it? Before it turned into Battle Cat. Am I right? Again, the nonsense that stays up here, and I can't remember the word placebo effect when I'm trying to describe something on a live stream. You had the sword from Thundercats, J-Star. Did you really? Did you really? seething with jealousy right now. She-Ra. Oh yeah, She-Ra. And the live-action master, that was Dolph Lundgren, wasn't it? Okay. Who did the Masters of the Universe movie, I think, wasn't it? That gigantic mountain of a man. To be fair, he kind of suited the role down to a T, didn't he? But, yeah, I remember that. Assuming we're thinking about the same thing. I'm sure there was only one He-Man movie made. Yeah. Great fun. Utterly brilliant. I miss those days. I miss being young and with no responsibilities whatsoever. Mysterious cities of gold. Oh, so do you know? As soon as I just read those 4 words, the images that just come flooding back. The big golden thing that they flew. Oh my God! Courtney Cox was in it as well. Was she? Snarf in Thundercats, absolutely, Darticus it was. Snarf? Jesus Christ, I'm such a child, aren't I? Oh, Mysterious Cities of Gold. Yeah. That was... Oh my word, that's... Again, you know when... I'm sure you all experience this, like, we've been sitting here talking about things from yesteryear for, what? Well, far too long now, probably about half an hour. But you know, when, well, Mark's just said Mysterious Cities of Gold, and that's just triggered in my memory a memory that I didn't even know I had. And it comes back to you and you're like, oh! I love those things, those feelings. It's wonderful. It really is. And I need to pick my cultivator up when I'm turning around. Don't give a damn about the field right now. I'm just enjoying this. It's too much fun, just reminiscing about old stuff we used to watch on telly. Yeah, man, Mysterious Cities of Gold, Jesus Christ. The one thing I can't do is remember how old I was when all of these things were on, but needless to say, I just remember being very, very young. Obviously, because I'm sat watching cartoons on a really old TV. What a series indeed, Jay, what a series indeed. I couldn't remember, I couldn't tell you anything about the episodes. It was, I just remember, it's mainly the intros, isn't it, really? It really is. It seems we are all the same, mate. Yes, Darticus, it seems we are. We were all of us of a particular age, we all watched the same crap on telly, didn't we? Because over here, because obviously in the UK, I know like we had, well, back then, we had 4 TV channels. Imaginatively named Channel 1, Channel 2, Channel 3 and Channel 4. We didn't have, well I know we never had Sky TV or cable TV or any, that kind of stuff didn't come in for a few years, did it? But yeah, we had 4 TV channels to choose from. I mean nowadays, God, you've got thousands of the damn things, haven't you? I mean you can, which is a bit, it's kind of a bit rubbish that, isn't it, what we've got? It's not, but it is. But you know, you sit down with your better half and think, let's watch a film, and you actually spend the length of time it would take to watch a film trying to figure out what film you're going to watch, because you're just scrolling through. Do we watch this one? Or this one? Or this one? There's so much to choose from. Thunderbirds, yes. Well, yeah, love Thunderbirds. They were brilliant. Like when my kids know that I still like to watch cartoons, they turn around and say I'm too old. We've got to do it though, haven't you, Andreas? You've got to relive a little bit of your childhood now and again, haven't you? Postman Pat. Yes, Kay, Postman Pat. With Jess the cat. Yeah, I used to love the setup of the little village that he lived in, because again, that wasn't the first iteration of Postman Pat. The ones that we're probably referring to, they were stop motion, weren't they? They weren't 3D animation or any fancy technologically produced cartoons. They were 3D models, weren't they? We have thousands of channels, but most of what is on them is rubbish. Absolutely correct, mate. The Jetsons. Yes. And the Flintstones, of course. That was the Flintstones with the OG Jetsons in my mind, if you know what I mean. Never too old. Absolutely Welsh. Absolutely. You haven't had cable for more than a decade, Sin. I've never had cable in my life, mate. I've had... what have we got at the minute? Well, to be fair, I don't even watch normal TV now. Everything I watch, everything we watch, me and Mrs. FS, is on the internet. We've got Amazon TV and we've got Apple TV. I've got a hard drive rammed, or several hard drives rammed with films and TV shows that we watch stuff on now and again. And that's pretty much it. I haven't watched terrestrial TV. To be fair, the aerial isn't even plugged into the back of the telly downstairs. You tried to act normal. That was the boring 5 minutes of your life, Andreas. The Jetsons was brilliant. You're absolutely right, mate. Yeah, man. I think these might have been Canadian shows only, not sure, but I enjoyed Fred Penner. Not sure I've heard of that one. The Friendly Giant. We had the BFG. That was maybe a Roald Dahl book. The Elephant Show, aka the Sharon, Louis and Bram Show, and Today's Special. They may well have been Canadian shows, Kay. The Elephant Show sounds familiar, though. Maybe I'm getting mixed up with the Elephant Man, which is an entirely different thing. Acting normal is so boring. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, we kind of have to this day and age, don't we? Yeah. Well, I should really try and... I'm going to see if I can straighten this line up and just... beeline straight for that corner at the end there. They were all live action shows with puppets and such, but you grew up and right, okay, I see. But again, we don't see any of that anymore, do you really? Like proper puppet shows. And that was a talent in of itself, don't you think? TV shows like that, because they were so entertaining. They really were. Keith and Orville. Do you remember Keith and Orville? Yeah, but that was more of a... that was the ventriloquist thing, wasn't it? It was still really cool. But that had its own... they had their own TV show, didn't they? And what was the other one? Rod and Emu. He was a bit mental, to be fair. Yeah. Let's drop that one down. There we go. Kind of got a rough straight line there. You also have various streaming services, only one active at a time though. Our TV have been used maybe 5 times this year. Well, it must have been, our TV gets used every night. I do appreciate just putting my feet up and watching the telly for a bit. Thunderbird share, absolutely. Mentioning Roald Dahl reminds you of his autobiography. Boy, is to this day one of the best books I've ever read. Do you know what, mate? I grew up reading Roald Dahl, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and the Great Glass Elevator and the BFG. The Twits. Do you remember, did you ever read the Twits? Brilliant. It's absolutely... We've got the book collection, actually. Is it up here? It might be away in boxes, actually, because even though the house is still completely full, as I said before, we're selling the house. It's for sale. And we have packed up a lot of stuff, but there is still... We actually took on a whole load more furniture. The Muppet Show, Kay. Yeah. The Muppet Show. Jim Henson. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, we're moving out, so we do have a lot of boxes of stuff here, there, and everywhere in the loft. But you wouldn't think it's you wouldn't know we were moving out apart from the for sale sign outside, because the house is still completely rammed with stuff. But yeah, I've got the Roald Dahl book collection somewhere. I'm trying to think what the other ones were. There's a load of other ones anyway. Cuddles the Monkey with Keith and all. Yes. There you go. But yeah, the Muppet Show, that was a big one. That I remember that so vividly. He was a genius, that Jim Henson, wasn't he? Absolute genius. You pretty much read everything he wrote, Darticus. And you're a better person for it, because they kind of... I don't know, well they did for me anyway, because a lot of his books were really quite imaginative. And reading books of that quality when you were that young kind of just opened your mind a bit, do you not think? Am I making sense with that? You know, I have no idea what young kids read nowadays, but I mean, I remember when my stepson was growing up, when I first met Mrs. FS, he was like 5 years old, and that's when, I mean, what was on the telly? That bloody, what are they called? Jesus, Teletubbies. Oh my God, what absolute utter tripe is that? It's not teaching kids anything, because they didn't talk, they didn't speak, they just made stupid bloody noises and danced around like idiots. But I was like, what's this? Do you know what I mean? Your friend Brett wrote some of the music for the Muppets Most Wanted. Really? That's a bit of a claim to fame. That's pretty cool, Cher. They don't read. That's a good point, to be fair. But that's a bit of a shame, don't you think? And I'm sure this is a conversation that's been had by millions of adults over the years, isn't it? But yeah, I had a huge collection of books when I was younger. And even now, I love reading. I love getting lost in a book. I haven't done it for a while, to be fair, because I haven't got any bloody time, but there is something very special. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Burp, sorry. There is something very special about getting lost in a book, don't you think? It's, yeah, it's a wonderful thing. Kids read these days? Yeah. Apparently not. They read their text messages. I know, but even then, obviously text message speak is... well, it annoys me. I think the only text message speak that I think I can say I'm guilty of ever using is lol, LOL. That's it. I physically can't bring myself to... I mean, it's some kind of modern text message shorthand, isn't it, where you shorten words and you don't spell things correctly, even though the recipient of your message will know what it says. I can't do it. If I'm typing a message out to anyone on the internet or on an email or anything, or in a text message, they get the full word of what I'm trying to say, because it's just, I'm not wired that way. I can't do it. And he was in Lord of the Rings as an elf. Your friend, was he? Brett. Goodness me. That's pretty cool, Cher. So he wrote some music for the Muppets, and he was in I love Lord of the Rings. Has anyone watched the TV show Rings of Power? Terry Pratchett books were good as well. They absolutely were, Darticus. They were some wonderful reads, weren't they? Yeah, has anyone watched the latest TV show, The Rings of Power, if you're into the Lord of the Rings? I absolutely love it. Me and Mrs. FARMERSIM really enjoyed that TV show. It's an absolute beauty. I think there's a couple of seasons now. It's really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, heartily recommend that one to anyone who's got Amazon Prime, if you haven't watched it. You saw John Barrowman last week in concert. Did you really? What does he do as a concert then, Cher? Does he sing or something? Because I know John Barrowman from... Oh, sorry, no, I don't know John Barrowman. I know of John Barrowman, if we're talking about the same John Barrowman, from Doctor Who. Rings of Power was good, at least to you. Not a fuss with it being super accurate to the books, lore, whatever. It was just a good... Yeah, absolutely, Chimera. That's... Yeah, I'm the same with that. It was just a really, really good show. Dirk Gently. That's a name I haven't heard for many, many years, Mark. Yeah. Did it not? Did you not? It didn't reel you in, Sin, did it not? Well, it's one of those, isn't it? It's not for everyone, I suppose, is it? I mean, me and Mrs. FS have been. We really enjoy just films that you can get lost into. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what we do every Christmas? And I'm happy to say this, and a lot of people, some of my friends who are, they don't watch them, but every Christmas we put Harry Potter on, all of them. I adore the Harry Potter films. They are just magical. Just, again, mainly now because it's got some of our most cherished and lost actors in. Alan Rickman, Robbie Coltrane, Maggie Smith, Michael Gambon. But they're just, and especially at Christmas, because they do, a lot of the Potter films do take place roughly around Christmas most of the time. We just put them on in the background if we're not necessarily focusing on it, and it's just gorgeous. I love them so much. I'm in my young years, I read plenty of books. Today I only read my bank account. Yeah, I must admit, Andreas, that's I suppose I'm a bit similar, but it's not a happy read. Tragedy, that's what that is. He does have a good voice, does Barrowman. Yeah. He does Dorillus. I'll be honest, Cher, I don't know who Dorillus is. Yeah. I know he's been around, he's been on a lot of things, and for me, John Barrowman is Jack Harkness in Doctor Who. Yeah. You're in the middle of season 2, Darticus, so no spoilers yet. Won't give you any spoilers. You watch Harry Potter at least once a year too. Get in, mate. It's great fun, it's brilliant. They're wonderful films. And I appreciate now that, I mean, I love the way that the films just get gradually darker and darker. Not just in look and colour, literally. Because obviously, you know, towards the end, as you know, obviously we all know what happens, I suppose. But because the first films, obviously, when the actors and actresses are all so young, you've just got to accept that they were youngsters, and I suppose in that you're just watching it for the story, aren't you? But yeah, I love how, like I say, how dark the films get towards the end, especially like the last 4 or 5 films, I think. Utterly brilliant, utterly brilliant. Another one for Harry Potter every Christmas. Brilliant. I'm glad we're not on our own with that one. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's really cool. The Harry Potter gang. They are brilliant films, though, aren't they? My mates who are all, like, you know, some of them are single and they're just, you know, they're in their 40s and they just play with race cars all day long. And I'm like, have you watched Harry Potter? And he's like, no, you know what I mean? I get that often. I'm like, dude, you really need to watch them. They're amazing. But then, you know, they have different lives to me. You know, we started the Harry Potter every Christmas thing because the little lad was young and it was magical and it was just one of those things that we did at Christmas. But now he's 18, 19, doesn't give a you-know-what about stuff like that, whereas me and Mrs. FS are still like, no, we're still watching Harry Potter. Yeah, bugger off, we're watching Harry Potter. Even if you're not, we are. It's like, yeah, it's a thing now for us. Did I ever watch Ulysses 31? Ulysses rings a bell, Mark. I don't remember anything called Ulysses 31 though. But we may well be talking about the same thing. I think, maybe. Yeah. Not far off being done this field now, eh? Not too far off anyway. And I don't actually. I was thinking maybe we might get all 3 done, but I don't think we will because we're on for just over 2 hours now. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Gremlins, Kate. Oh my god. Oh, I used to love the Gremlins. I always used to the scene in Gremlins that I can't stop that I'll always think about when I think of Gremlins is the thingy chair up the stairs and she goes flying out the house. What's it called now? Stair lift. And they turn it up and she goes, and the old lady goes flying out the house up the stair lift. Was that Gremlins 2, possibly? But Die Hard, yes. Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. You're watching the F1 qualifying while listening to me and playing FARMERSIM 22, talking about multitasking. Good on you, Dutch, goodness me. It's hard enough for me just to do this. Try and cultivate in a straight line, check my... Ooh. There hasn't been any buffering or anything, has there, from you guys? I've just seen a... Well, it's only over a 2-hour stream. I've got just over 200 dropped frames. Has everything looked alright at your end? Apart from the awful quality because of my shoddy graphics card. Yeah, I might have to turn the bitrate down a bit for next time. We shall see. You've had fights with people about Die Hard and Christmas. Oh, Home Alone! That's another great one. I'm assuming you won the fights, Kay. So are these people, are these Die Hard Christmas movie deniers? Is that who you've been fighting with? It absolutely is a Christmas movie. It just is. It's really sad what's happened to Bruce Willis, isn't it? He was what? Again, we've done the cartoons of our 80s childhood, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to the real life actors and actresses from the 80s childhood. But like, there was a list, wasn't there? There was Arnie, Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone. There was a handful of the big American actors and actresses, but Bruce Willis was one of them. And it's really, really sad to see that his health is taking such a massive deterioration. It's horrible, it really is. You win some, you lose some, but you will never concede to the deniers. Good on you, Kay. Good on you, mate. All fine here, Welsh. Thanks, mate. Good to know, good to know. Good to know. I do need to... I need to get myself a better graphics card. It works fine for my... it's perfect for my normal videos. It's really, really capable in that respect, but I didn't know that the encoding, the live stream encoding capacity was an entirely different thing. You live and you learn, don't you? I've just watched so many other live streams. I watch FSG's live streams and loads of other people's, and their quality is super crisp, and when they run around a tractor like that, everything stays perfectly smooth, whereas I know when I look on mine, as soon as I move anything, the edges of every single shape on the screen kind of fluff up a bit, and it drives me mental. Rambo is an old one, and Rocky, absolutely. There is a map in Farming... Hello, Callum. Hope you're well, mate. Callum Chandler. Nice to see you, mate. There is a map in Farming Sim. It's called Millstown. It's amazing. You should try it. Okay, mate. Yeah, I shall check it out. Millstown. It sounds familiar. Hasn't someone just started something on Millstown? Was it Argsy or FSG? A community server, I want to say. I seem to recall seeing the word Millstown in my YouTube subscription feed. Christmas only officially starts once Die Hard has been on. Yes. Brilliant. Yes. FSC, thanks, Mark. Yeah, I thought I'd seen the map name Millstown. I'll check it out. I certainly will. I'll be honest. I haven't actually seen it. I haven't checked it out. I did miss his last live stream the other day because I was driving a van load of furniture back. Is it a fictional map, or is it based on a real place, Callum or Mark or anyone who knows anything about it? I know absolutely zero about it, if I'm honest. It's such a good map. Yeah, I'll check it out. I will check it out. But this, again, being a content creator now, it's very difficult to, especially at this late stage with 25 being minutes away essentially. I can't start another big series because as a creator I've got to run with the times. So when 25 comes out, I've got to kind of jump on that and keep with the viewers. I'm considering sticking with a couple of 22 maps for a bit. I think that might be a sensible thing, maybe. Just because it's going to be a little bit of time, isn't it, before we get any reasonable quantity of mods to start playing with on 25, isn't it? Oh yes, Callum, we all know DJ. We all know DJ. He's a wonderful guy. Very fortunate to have met him last year at Lammer. I think him and Farmer Cop are making their way over to Lammer again this year, next year, aren't they? For our little farming simulator community event. So it'll be very nice to say hello to them guys again. I'm really looking forward to Lammer next year. I really am. It's going to be fun. Although I know this time I need to take a different pair of shoes. I had a brand new pair of DCs that I put on for I thought I'll try and break in for the last one, and my feet were ruined after that. We were literally walking around all day. My feet were absolute toast. Yeah, Callum, he's a great guy, DJ. He's just the same in real life as he is on camera, which is brilliant. He's a really, really nice character, really great guy. It was awesome meeting him. Also, as soon as the TV providers start putting the fire lock channels on. Yeah. Christmas starts here as soon as Thanksgiving is over. Second weekend, and we kind of skip Halloween a little bit, and as soon as they start putting the fire log channels on, yeah. Yeah. It's almost on us again, isn't it, Christmas? I suppose for me, thinking about the time we've got ahead of us, the main bookmark, I suppose, has been, for a long time, the 12th of November. My mind has just got the 12th of November in there because it's a big day for all of us in the FARMERSIM community. The new game comes out. I haven't even given a moment's thought to what comes after it, and it comes after that day every year, and that's bloody Christmas. Oh. Yeah. It's you seem wonderful too. I'm going to subscribe. Thank you. That's very kind, Callum. Thank you very much, mate. Welcome to the channel if you do. Great to have you on board, mate. This is actually the first live stream I've done in quite a few months. I think the last live stream I did was my 5,000 subscriber special that I did over on Deutschland, which was a couple of months back. So yeah, I would like to do more of them. Yeah, for sure. Have you just been to take the puppy out, have you, mate? Go for a bit of a dog walk. There we go. How old's your puppy and what kind of dog is he or she? Out of interest. Do love dogs. Yeah, what kind of dog is it, mate? We only just realised as well, we've had our dog, he's I think he's 10 this year. Time goes so fast. Yes, Kay. Deutschland, that is a map that's going to be carried over to 25. Very excited for that one too, likewise, mate, yeah. And obviously it's going to be, it's not only is it going to be carried over, it's going to be expanded, isn't it? There's all that area of land to the south of the map that we currently have that's going to be the 25 expansion, isn't it? Keep it up, mate. Wish you the best and hope you get the play button. Well, that's a little bit off, but Callum, thank you, mate. That's very, very kind of you, mate. I really appreciate your kind words and your support. That's very generous, mate. But yeah, Deutschland. Looking forward to that. It is a gorgeous map. I've still got my series on there, but I haven't actually done much with it these last few weeks because it is one of the nicest maps. It's gorgeous, but my series just didn't get the views compared to compared to all the other series. It just didn't get the views, and obviously the amount of work it took for me to make the episodes, it kind of left me a little bit disheartened. I will still do at least 1 or 2 episodes on there, Kay. I do need to, because I don't like the idea of just cutting a series off mid-series, I suppose. It's difficult to find an end game for it, if you know what I mean. There is just going to be a last episode at some point. I do really want to do another episode on there quite soon, to be honest, because the last few weeks well, Calmsden's had my attention, hasn't it? I've done a few Calmsden episodes these last few weeks, just because I've been from the creative side of things. That's where my creative juices wanted to go. I was like, I really want to get back on Calmsden because I've really enjoyed playing it, but I have that same thing for Court Farms. I have the same for Deutschland. But as I say, because Deutschland just seemed to be the one that seemed to gain most of the least views, I kind of started concentrating on the others. On the Vintage Oaks, of course, as well. That seems to be a reasonably popular one. I love that map. It's an absolute beauty. And my farm, of course. But yeah, I need to... Especially while moving to 25, I do need to bring them all to some kind of an end, don't I? I don't just want to, even if it's not before, even if it doesn't happen before the release of 25, I still need to bring them to or at least announce the end of them, if you know what I mean. Make an episode to mark the end of each series, because it doesn't feel right, especially with stuff like Court Farms. You know, I think I'm almost 90 episodes in. I'm gutted because I really wanted to make 100 episodes. I might still get the chance. Pierre Muller, mate, that's very kind. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Thank you very much indeed. That's extremely generous of you, mate. Cheers indeed. Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you very much. But yeah, I've got to bring them all to some kind of end, haven't I, in that respect, which I will be doing. So yes, mate, I will be doing an episode on Deutschland at some point. In fact, tomorrow I need to be sitting down and doing some recording tomorrow, so maybe just for UK I might do a Deutschland. You never know. We shall see. Right, field done. In fact, no, let me do my check now to make sure I have got all of the bits that I need to get. Now, I don't need to worry about the light turquoise and the dark turquoise because they are the same in that respect. I don't think I've missed a single bit there. Yeah, I'm quite chuffed with that, considering we've been nattering for what seems like absolutely ages, talking about and reminiscing about 80s cartoons and stuff. I managed to not miss a single bit, so I'm very proud of that. That'll do for me. Awesome stuff. So we're now at just over 2¼ hours, so I think I am going to call it here for this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. And what a wonderful time I've had. Thank you so much for joining me, honestly. Having you all on board tonight, keeping me company, celebrating the 7,000 subscribers that have jumped onto the channel since we've started has been wonderful. So to all of you, thank you very much indeed. I really appreciate it. If any of you are in the market for purchasing any of the game's extra bits and bobs, or if you fancy pre-ordering Farming Simulator 25, I do have my promo code there, FARMERSIM. I hope it's come up. There it is. Yeah, if any of you are in the market for purchasing anything like that, and you fancy supporting the channel, promo code FARMERSIM, it's there for you. If you fancy using that, it'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that, mate. It's a Bichon and formal... Bichon Freeze, is it, Andreas? There we go. Quickly up to the 8k. Well, we'll see, Dutch. We'll see. Obviously, I'm doing my very best. I'm trying to keep the content coming, as it were. Thanks, Chimera. Lovely to see you, mate. Thank you for jumping on board and keeping us company tonight, mate. Lovely to see you. See you all next time, indeed. So, yeah. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Hopefully I'll have a video out for you on Monday. Potentially Deutschland, maybe. We shall see. But other than that, I will try and get on another live stream as soon as physically possible. Thank you very much, Andreas. Dagger, you're very welcome, mate. J-Star, cheers for joining us, mate. No problem at all, Callum, mate. It's great to have you on board. It's great to have met you on here. Cheers for jumping onto the channel, mate. So yeah, cheers everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you soon. See you later.